Okay. Okay, so today is mid-October, and right here where we are, where I am in Aptos, California by the ocean, it's a nice 70-something degrees, but it is summertime. It's summer in October. So I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to complain today. No, I'm not going to complain. I'm just going to enjoy it. I want us to get started with a couple of different props. I've got the TheraBand and the small ball, and I also do have one heavy weight today. The heavy weight is optional. It's absolutely optional, but I'm going to use it. Just so if you have one, you might want to have one single heavy weight. Okay, so welcome, and feet are hip width or mat width apart, and we're just going to start standing, finding your weight underneath you. Maybe closing your eyes for just a second and taking a deep inhale through the nose and an exhale through the nose. Good, becoming present. Now bend your knees, stretch your arms out and open up to this gorgeous, beautiful day. Slowly lifting the arms up. Allow the body to do a tiny standing back bend. So you're stretching open. You're allowing all the beautiful blue sky to emanate into your body. And then you come forward. We're going to do just one full roll down. So make this one count. Stretch, stretch, stretch forward. And then when you come to this flat back shape, stick your tailbone out and reach your fingertips. Soften your knees. And then come down to your hang and let go of your head. Breathe. And then sway side to side, or kind of a figure eight movement, as if you're under the sea, like you're under the sea. Great, take a deep breath somewhere into the back of your lungs. And then as you exhale, stack the spine up, and then just an easy, smooth stacking, like you turned into the tallest tree in the forest. And when you come up, roll the shoulders. Forward, up, back, and down. Do it again. Forward, up, back, and down. And one more time. Forward, up, back, and down. Excellent work. I'm keeping my feet fairly wide today. And as we move into just a little side bending, I like to bend my knees and have my lower body stable on this one. So I'm going to bring my arms up. Clasp my hands and bring them behind the head. Find that connection of pushing my head back to like nestle into my hands. And then I'm just going to take it side bending. That's a big inhale. And as I inhale, I breathe into the side of my lungs. Exhale brings me back to center. Inhale, giant breath. Exhale, center. Good, I keep pushing my head slightly back as I go into that side bend and center. Inhaling, side bend. Exhale, center. Inhale, side bend. Exhale, center. Good, now I'm going to take it a little faster to really activate the sides of my body. Side and side and side and side and side and side. And then a little faster if I can. It's side bend, side bend, side bend, side bend. Good. Reach and reach. I'm kind of leading with my elbows. So I could imagine I'm a big hammerhead shark in the depths of the ocean. My eyeballs are at the tips of my elbows. So I'm leading with my eyeballs. And it's side and side and side and side. Now it's as fast as I possibly can. Side, 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 side. I'm really throwing my hips out a little bit now. So my hips and my elbow. I bring it back to center. I stretch up. I'm going to clasp my hands behind me and then come all the way forward. Stretch, stretch, stretch the arms over the head. Take a quick breath. Exhale and roll that spine back up. Standing tall. So part of that warm-up is about breathing. Just kind of quickly noticing, I feel better already. Now, I'm going to grab my small ball and my bands today for kind of a setup so that we can do a little bit of standing hip strengthening and do it really safely. So the ball is going to go between my inner thighs, and I'm going to let it come up pretty high up toward my inner thighs. So I'm really squeezing, and then I bring my feet fairly close together. Okay, then I'm taking my band, my resistance band here, and I'm doubling it, I'm folding it in half, doubling it up. And I'm going to hold that straight out. Good. Now in this position, just to kind of double check everything, I'm looking down at my feet, and my feet are in a pretty good parallel foot position. My arms are slightly reaching forward, but they're also slightly pulling back. From that place of strength, I want you to bring the arms up over the head. The arms are reaching, but remember the humeral heads are sunk in. So I have lots of space between my shoulder and my ear. Good. The setup is probably the most important part of the exercise. So kind of really noticing now I'm ready to shift my weight to one side. And then I'm going to take my, for me it's my right leg. I'm going to take my right leg forward. And I'm going to make a little bit of a half circle back. And I'm keeping the ball here so that as I'm swiveling forward and back, I'm keeping my core active as I'm working my hip. So I take the leg back, I take the leg forward. I take the leg back, I take the leg forward. Good, I take that leg back, I take that leg forward, I take that leg back, I take the leg forward. Good, now last time I take the leg back, I stay back, and I, in my mind, check that my hips are even. So one is not wildly askew. They're pretty even. And I lean forward an inch or two. So I'm making a nice line from my arm to my heel, from my fingertips to my heel. And then I take off my back leg. Good, now for some of you, it would be way better to have the arms come down and to slightly pull apart. So I'm going to cue that. It's a little easier on the shoulders. Notice we're now standing on one leg, but feel the strength. Can you feel your glutes are fired? Can you feel the whole inner line and the core is fired with this positioning? I definitely can. Then we're going to tap the toe and lift. It's a very small movement of that leg. For me, it's right leg. Doesn't matter which one you are on. We're going to see if we can do 20, 19, 18, really focus, 17, 16, fierce laser focus, 15, 14, 13, make it tiny, 12, 11, 10, make it teeny, tiny little movement, good. It's 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, last one, good. Can you lean a little bit forward and lift? Can you lean a little bit forward and lift without losing that ball? Take a breath in and then carefully bring that back to standing as if nothing has occurred. Ah, good. Now, where did you feel the exercise? Did you feel it in your standing leg? Yes. Some of us felt it in our calf. It was like, that was a calf exercise, Jen. Some of us felt it in our inner thigh. Some of us felt it in our hips. Some of us felt it in our glute. So wherever you feel it, usually there's weakness there. So, just to notice that. Let's set ourselves up for the other side. Check yourself down at your feet level first. And then let's start with the arms raised, shoulder blades pulling down so that you're really feeling there the humeral head connection. Good. And then you're going to shift your weight a little bit to that other side so that you can bring that opposite leg. For me, it's left, and I take it forward and back, and I'm making just a half circle. Forward and back. Good. I feel a lot of muscles firing. On this side, I'm really aware of my obliques. So I'm using my left leg, my whole right side of my body is like fired up. Good. And then for many of you, it's a little easier and better for shoulders to have the arms down at any point, but you still have that connection with your resistance band. That TheraBand is being pulled slightly apart. Good. One more time, making that circle for the hips. Yeah, good. Now, you've got the leg behind you. Check here that you're not wildly askew here with your hip bones. And then could you lean just a tiny bit forward? Could you lift that leg just a tiny little bit? Good. And then from here, let's see if we can do 20 tiny lifts. 19, 18, serious focus, 17, 16, 15, 14. We can do this. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. And if you can, come all the way down to take as much of a stretch as you can without losing your ball. And then gracefully come back up to standing as if nothing has occurred. Now you take an assessment, quick assessment. Did I feel anything different in that side? Yeah, for me, I felt nothing on that side, whereas the other side was all in my calf. So noticing imbalances, we will work on them. This is a great setup to get everything fired properly. Now we're going to drop the ball and the band, and we're going to try a single leg activity standing. Since everything's fired properly and the core muscles have already been fired, this should be, easier. This should be easier. So here we go. We're going to shift from one leg to the other leg, and as you shift, I just want you to feel like you're lifting taller. So thinking about vertical energy, it's not side to side, it's vertical. No compression, you get taller as you shift your weight side to side. Good, now stay on one side, get as tall as you can, gather that energy, and then bring the opposite leg up to tabletop, extend it, bring it in, set it down, other side. Here we go, bringing it up, extend, in and down, other side, tabletop, extend, in and down, again, tabletop, extend, in and down. Good, now we're gonna stay on this side. This should be the first side that you were on. You're going to have your leg in tabletop. You're gonna extend, tabletop, set it down, same side, up, extend, in, and down. Now keep going. Could you bring your hands behind your head and keep going? Good, it becomes just a tiny bit more balance issue with those hands behind the head. Good, 5 more. In, extend, in, and down. In, extend, in, and down, and in, extend, in, and down, and in, extend, in, and down. Once more. In, extend, in, and down. Good, now let's try that other side. Bringing it to tabletop, extend the leg, bringing it in, set it down, in, extend, in, and down, in, extend, in, and down. Keep it up, in, extend, in, and down, and in, extend, in, and down. Last 2, in, lengthen your leg, pull it in, and down. Last one, in, lengthen, in, and down. Good, relax those arms down to your sides. We finish with a few squats for today. I love to have my squats in a nice wide sumo squat position, but for some of you, squats are a little bit much for your knees right now. A couple of you have let me know about that. So we're gonna start with pliés, and then the people who need to stay there are gonna stay there. Bring those hands together right by your sternum as if you're in a yoga class, you're doing prayer position. Notice when you press your hands together, there's a connection through your back musculature. Bend your knees. Check here that you can see the big toes on the inner line of your knee. And then push against the floor to stand up. Good. As you push against the floor, push your hands together as well. So here's the perfect plie. Down, and then press the feet and hands together as you lift up. Take it down, and then push. You're strengthening all the muscles around your knees safely. You don't have to think about doing the squat. You can think about doing a plie. Then I do want you to make sure that you're firing the backside of your body. You can bring your hands to your glutes and you can feel, wow, my butt feels fantastic. What an amazingly beautiful butt I have. Or you can feel like, oh my gosh, my butt muscles are not firing. If they're not firing, you want to fire those glutes. Thinking about firing the glutes, really fire. Think about squeezing your butt. Good. And as you do that, your butt muscles will fire. Kind of double check. Good. Now, if that's perfect for you, you're going to stay right there. If you'd like to move into the beautiful sumo squat, we're going to squat down, and squatting is where we sit back and we stand up. We sit back, we stand up, knees hardly move. Make sure if you're, kind of just double checking each time, your knees do not come forward. We're strengthening our knees. We're not putting them out of whack. Squats can be difficult. Joseph Pilates created a whole piece of equipment to teach people to do a correct squat. It's not that easy, but I like just sitting in the little stool and standing up. That does it for me. Okay, now for me, I'm grabbing my heavy weight because I can. So if you like, you can grab your heavy weight and you can do the second kind of level with me. It's same setup as a sumo squat. You're gonna hold the weight right at your sternum, kind of like we have a kettlebell. If you have a kettlebell, that's great too. And then we sit back into the squat and we push the feet and then squeeze the hips. We go down, push up, good work. So now as we're doing these for our final standing warm-up, I want you to think about all the sports you're gonna be doing this winter. Oh yeah, so it doesn't snow here, so we pretty much do the same cycling and hiking and stand-up paddleboarding, surfing. However, quite a few of you have asked me about some ski workouts. Could you please do some ski prep workouts with us, Jen? So yes, I will. We will do a ski prep workout next week, and I'll incorporate exercises for the next few months for really building those skiing muscles. Yeah. Good. Now let's see if we can do 5 perfect ones. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. That's it. And last 1. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to put down my heavy weight. And I want to do one last little thing for you. It's the beginning of the ski workout. And it's an ancient exercise. And it's a knee strengthening exercise, right? The first thing that you think about when you think about skiing workout, you think about knees. Yes, we do actually. So bringing your feet as close together as you can so that your knees are touching. You're gonna sit back just a little tiny bit as if you're sitting on a high stool. Then your hands are gonna go onto your thighs and you're gonna let a little bit of your upper body weight settle onto your thighs. From here, we're gonna circle the knees around, circling the knees, circling the knees, circling the knees. This is an ancient exercise, one of the original series of Qigong, of medical Qigong. It's thousands and thousands of years old, and it's been kept alive by athletes, martial artists, and skiers of all kinds because it strengthens the knees and stretches the knees at the same time. So you do it 10 times one way and then 10 times the other. It might not look like much. It might not really feel like much, but believe you me, this is a very, very, very powerful, old exercise. Kind of a secret exercise, although it's used in physical therapy all the time by good physical therapists. Okay, so finally come all the way up to standing. Notice that you worked a tiny little sweat. I have a little tiny sweat line today. And let's come down to our mat. Woohoo! Let's get some core work on. I'm going to change the orientation here so that we are now on our mats. Yes. And we're going to start out here with just a couple of easy rollbacks. I want you to have your small ball between your inner thighs. I'm going to put my band down for a moment. And I'm just going to sit up tall. I'm going to hold on to the underside of my thighs. Take a big breath in, really filling up my lungs. And then as I exhale, I'm going to round down just to the point where my arms are long. So I call this my little hammock spot. I take a quick breath in, and then exhale, pull myself forward. And as I pull myself forward, I stretch through the sternum. Take a breath in, exhale, rounding yourself down. Quick breath here. Exhale back. You're using your pants, you're using your legs to help you roll down and up. So this should feel extremely comfortable. Like, oh, I could do 100 of these, Jen. These are great. So just enjoying that for a minute. Exhaling on the movement. Inhaling in between. So exhale down. Quick breath in. Exhale up. Good. Now these are great rollbacks for people who have neck issues. Can you feel that you're working your core now? I know the first few were like, oh, not too much, but now you're like, okay, actually this is a core exercise and I'm working all the muscles next to my spine. I can feel that. But can you feel that your neck is completely free and happy? Yeah. So this would be a really great one to practice regularly if you do have some neck issues going on. And who doesn't have occasional neck issues going on, right? Yeah, the neck has to hold up our heavy heads, and our heads are crammed with more and more stuff every single day. So, yes, we have heavy heads. Okay, good. Now, after this millionth one, we're gonna sit up tall. Take the arms forward and have the idea of pulling that band apart. So you're making the connection through the front and back of your body. We're going to take 10 counts to roll all the way down to the mat. So take a breath in here, and then it's 10, 9, 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Let your legs stretch and your feet flex. Really, really, really flex your feet. When you're flexing your feet, you're pulling your toes a little bit back towards your face and you're reaching out through your arches and your heels. Good, now squeeze the ball as much as you possibly can. It's between your inner thighs, somewhere above your knee joint. And you've also got your flexed feet. So flexing and squeezing. Let the arms come straight up over the shoulders, palms facing forward. We're going to start the movement with the arms. So here we go. The arms start the movement. We lift the head and we're rolling up slowly and we're reaching for the toes, but at the same time we're lengthening through the top of the head. So we're lengthening and we're reaching at the same time. We come all the way forward and we round ourselves forward. Notice your spine is rounded, it's not straight. Inhale here and exhale, coming all the way back down. Yay, this time take the arms over the head, but at the same time, press your rib cage down into the floor. Inhale, arms, float your head, neck, and shoulders, squeeze your ball, flex your feet. Reach towards your feet, but at the same time, lengthen. You're reaching up and over. Round your spine. Good, and then releasing smoothly back down. Good, and we're gonna do one more, so full roll-ups here. Effortless, just effortless. Inhale, arms, flex and squeeze, rolling forward, but keeping your mind's eye on that lengthening. Yay! Okay, and then from here, we're gonna gently roll all the way back. Okay, I want you to bend your knees and pull those feet in close to your butt. Today, we have Just the hands holding behind the head for support. We are going to move into some flexion today. Always an option to keep your head down. Use a tea towel, use a resistive TheraBand, whatever works for you. I'm going to cue with my hands. So here I am, feeling very cozy on this mat. It feels wonderful. I'm squeezing the ball. I'm going to lengthen as I pick my head up. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. I'm going to come up as high as I possibly can. And then I'm going to come up just a little bit higher. And then I lower all the way down. Good, so I'm going to do it again. Lift my first level, and then I lift up a little bit higher, and then I go all the way back down. Again, lift, take it higher, and down, and lift. Lift higher, and down, and lift. Take it higher, and down, and lift. Take it higher, and down, and lift. Pulse higher, and down. Keep going, lift. Take it higher, and down, and lift. Pulse it higher, and down, and lift. Pulse it higher, and hold. Can you release your hands, hold onto your pants, pull yourself up there a little bit higher, and you are definitely above your shoulder blades. Oh yeah. So each time we practice a set today, we're going to try to lift up a little bit higher, but not much more above than this high. So a little bit above shoulder blades would be perfect. You're not trying to do a full sit-up, it's a chest lift. Good, so you're pulling on your pants, you're memorizing this position. My neck feels great. And then I'm gonna lower it all the way back down. Good, now I'm gonna do the same situation, but I'm gonna do a little bit of a twist. So here we go, the feet stay planted, hands come behind the head, and I'm gonna lift up through center, and as I lift a little bit higher, that's when I twist. I go through center, try to keep that height, and then I twist to the other side, and then I come back to center, kind of trying to keep that height, and lower all the way down. So just one of those should make you feel like something is happening. Let's do it again. We lift up to that big old place. We twist back to center and twist back to center. Lower it down. Again, lift, twist, center, and twist. Take it to center, all the way down. Again, lift, twist, center, and twist. Center and down. Again, lift, twist, center, twist, center, and down. Again, lift, twist, center, and twist. Center and down. Last time, lift, twist, center, and twist. Good. Center, stay lifted. Pull your legs up to tabletop, pulsing in and in like a little ball. In and in and in and in. We go for 8 more, 7 more. We can do this. 6 more, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more. Last one, and lower your head. Squeeze your legs into your body and rock a little bit side to side. Woo! Now I felt that abdominal series. That was great for me. So I'm breathing and allowing my back to release for a moment. Good, and we're gonna move on to a little bit of leg work. I love leg work lying down with the ball. It's so comforting. So you're gonna take your small ball and I want you to place it underneath your feet to start out with. Good, your feet are on your ball, you're pressing lightly down. We press the feet into the ball to fire the back line of the body, and we're gonna do a little bit of a hip lift and a little bit of a wave action down. So we lift up in one fell swoop, we're up, and then it's a softening as we come down. You got it, lift and lower, and lift, and lower. Good, now here comes some good work. We're gonna lift up and we're gonna stay lifted. Good, could you Lift one leg off the ball and set that down. Oh my gosh, could you lift the other leg up and could you set that down and then could you roll the spine down and lengthen the legs? Good, really pushing them away from your head. Rock it side to side. Cha-cha, like a metronome. Cha-cha, cha-cha. Good, now we're gonna try that again. If it's too much, your foot goes on the mat rather than on the ball. Here we go, pull the legs in. It's a breath in to prepare, and on the exhale, press into the ball. Lift the hips up, and then roll that spine down. Good job. Exhale up. Inhale, soften the spine down. Do it again, hip lift up. Soften the spine down. And hip lift up. Soften that spine down. And last time, hip lift up. Good, and stay up. Now, could you pick up one foot off the ball, bring that to tabletop, and set that down. And then maybe could you bring the other leg up to tabletop, and then could you set that down. And then could you roll the spine down, lengthen the legs and the arms in opposition. Get as long and lean as you humanly can. Good, and then pull the legs in. Good, last set for some serious fun and games. If for any reason being on the ball in this position is not good, your feet just go on the ground and you do what you can. This makes it much, much, much more interesting for some of us. So here we go, breath in to prepare, exhale, push your feet into the ball, lift your hips up, and then inhale, soften like a little wave. Exhale up. Inhale, soften the spine. Good job. Again, lift the hips. Soften that spine. And again, lift up. Soften that spine. And again, lift the hips. Soften the spine. Good. One more time. Lift the hips and let's hold here. Good. Now this last one is the most challenging one. So you really have to squeeze your hips and your glutes, squeeze everything around your pelvis. Hamstrings could be screaming a little bit. That's okay. Now lift one foot off of your ball. Lengthen that leg. We're going to try to do 3 down and ups. Down to the knee, kick it up. Down to the knee, kick it up. Once more. Down to the knee, kick it up. And set it onto the ball. Roll that spine down and stretch your legs side to side. Oh, man, that got into some leg muscles that I don't always use. This is good for skiing and for cycling and for hiking and for walking and for everyday activities. Good job. Okay, pull the ball in. We're going to see if we can do that on the other side. So the challenge. Take a breath in. Exhale and push down. Lift up. Good. Let's do actually 2 of these to get the spine warmed up. Let's roll down. I wasn't quite mentally prepared for the other side yet. And we lift up. Good. And we roll down. Good. Now this time we're going to lift up and stay. Good. And here we go, lifting the other leg up to tabletop. Extend it up to the ceiling. Take it down to the height of the opposite knee. Kick up 3. And 2. And last 1. Good. Put it down onto the ball. Roll the spine down. Shoot the ball long. And let it rock you side to side. That felt pretty satisfying, I thought. Okay, now let's pull that ball all the way underneath us. Lift your butt up. Roll it to your sacrum. Okay, we're going to start out with our double leg pump. But first, just get really comfortable on the ball. Bring legs up to tabletop. I'm going to keep my arms down today, but remember, halfway arms, full-on arms, you can play with your arms depending on what level you want to work at today. Just check that your knees are kind of sinking down, that your belly is pulling down, that your spine is pulling downward into the mat. Everything is fired correctly. Good. Now squeeze the legs lightly together. And you're going to flex your feet lightly, reaching out through the middle of your medial arch. We're going to scoot down and then out, and then in and back. Notice my feet are pointed, and then they flex, and then they're pointed, and then they flex. I'm trying to get this little pumping quality, and the pump of my legs comes from my abdominals. So my belly and my legs are working together. And with the down and up action, there's a second, maybe it's just a nanosecond, where it's all abs. It's like all abs, right there. So see if you can get that. It's kind of like the feeling on a roller coaster. There's that moment of like, woohoo, you got it. Think of this as your roller coaster ride, the double leg pump. Good. Could you make the movement bigger? Meaning, could you go lower toward the ground and higher up? Is that a better movement for you? Or keeping it a little bit more contained? Is that more of your style? See if we can do 3 double leg pumps and 2 double leg pumps. Good. And 1 double leg pump. Legs come up to the sky. Tailbone flattens down on the ball as if you're a platypus. One leg comes all the way to the floor, or as much as you can do it. And it's 2 pulses, change legs. 2 pulses, change legs. Change legs. Change legs. Change legs. Change legs. Change legs. Good. Now just move into your own idea of single legs. 1 up and 1 down. Single leg scissors, 1 up and 1 down. I don't think there's a double leg scissors. That would be an interesting concept. 1 up and 1 down at your own speed. Big movement. Big movement on these scissors. Good. Now naturally I'm flexing up and pointing down. Are you naturally flexing up and pointing down? Could you point both feet like you're a dancer? Point your feet and lead with your toe and see how that makes everything much more thigh oriented. It's all of a sudden everything's in the front of the body. Then same movement, but just keep your feet flexed and flexed and flexed. Can you feel how that moves the energy out to the sides of the legs? Much more so than when you pointed. Different energy, different muscles, and then at your own pleasure, I'm going back to flexing up and pointing down. For me, that feels really nice. And we go 10 more, 9 more, 8 more, 7 more, 6 more, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, last one, and let your legs come down and rest. Yay. Okay, we've got a clam series today. Yes, we have to keep doing those clam shells. They are really good for us. And then we're going to do a little extended set on all 4s today. So first though, let's switch our orientation to our side lying. So we're going to move over into a side lying position. I'm going to put my ball down and just make sure for me, my neck is happy however it is here. I'm going to bend my knees and I'm forming into an L shape. I lift my feet up and I'm going to open my feet and my heels are going to be glued together. I check that my pelvis is stacked and I lengthen through the side of my body. So there's all my preparation for the exercise. That's more than the exercise itself. But if we don't prepare for the exercise, we're not going to get anything out of it. So that's why we do that. So now we're going to squeeze and open. And I'm hinging right there at my heel. And I'm making a big open and a big close. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, open. Good. We're going to do a lot of these today, but we're going to do them in some different positions. So no worries. Just happiness today as you're getting stronger together. Good. Opening and closing and opening and closing. Today is such a happy day. My life is so blessed. Thank you, everyone, for giving me so much. I really am blessed by you, Yesterday, I came home from a beach walk. Someone, and Elise, thank you, has left a beautiful package, a gift at my door. I get cards and mails from you, donations. I feel like I'm a queen of Sheba. No, thank you, really, 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 from my heart to your heart. So good to have you. Okay, well, that got me through that little set. Now, for me, this is my least favorite, so just to let you know, this is toe-to-toe. So we're doing a diamond shape. And for me, yeah, I'm a teacher, so I kind of get to choose the exercises. So this is one that I don't like very much. But do you know that those exercises that you do not like very much are almost certainly the exercises that you need very much? Yes. So I'm sharing with you, this is not my favorite. Yeah, and we close and we open. To me, it's working my inner thighs and my thighs, and maybe something about the inner line of my calf too. I'm not exactly sure where the effort is that it's not helpful it's not pleasurable. It's a little tiny bit painful. I'm gonna get through it though, because I want to get stronger, and wherever those places are, I'm thinking it might be a little bit of inner thigh that I need more strength today. Okay, a few more. Does anyone have a good joke? I did hear a good joke the other day, but are you a kind of a person that doesn't remember jokes after a couple of days? I know I kind of am too, but I was laughing when my friend told it to me. So that was a good thing. Okay, now release. Good work. So you're going to lift that top leg off, and we just finish off with some circles. You should feel kind of good after all of the clamshell. It's good. And this is not the toughest clamshell series that we've ever done. But you might know that clamshells are always included in ski prep workouts for those of you that are prepping to go skiing. If there's snow this year, do you think there's going to be a lot of snow this year? Somewhere there will be a lot of snow. Keep going, circling around. You've reversed it, and it's just easy now. It feels good. Oh yeah, I need these circles today. Good, okay. Now grab a hold of your foot or ankle or wherever it feels kind of comfortable. Give yourself a little bit of a thigh stretch here. My underneath leg is going to stretch a little bit forward in opposition. To me, that feels healthful. And I'm pushing my thigh forward and my hand into my foot. And for me, this is not my greatest quad stretch or anything, but I do feel something. Maybe for you, it is a really great quad stretch. Great. Now we're going to bend the knees, and we're going to move into our number 4 stretch before we do the other side. So the leg that you just worked on top, that one comes up and it crosses over the other leg. Good. And then pull the legs into your body and find a place that you can hang out for a moment or two. Do you want to let your other leg dangle? Do you want it to be lifted? Do you want to have that foot flexed? Try small, little, tiny changes in the way that you stretch to find the deeper connection in your body. And then once you get to that place, breathe into anything that is offering resistance. If there's resistance in your body, you're giving it oxygen. Breaking through. Yay. Okay, I'm going to just kind of act like a little toddler having a tantrum here. That really helps me release any tension that I might have inadvertently created. And I'm gonna rock my body up and I'm gonna rock back and forth 3 times. So I'm gonna rock back, just really easy. This isn't like a highly choreographed roll. It's just rolling and lifting up. And to me, I'm on the soft surface, so it feels great. If you're on a hard cement surface, please do not do that. Okay, we go around to the other side and let's set ourselves up for our clams here. Neck is comfortable, legs are in L shape. We lift the feet up onto an imaginary shelf, and then we open the top leg and really connect. Take a moment to connect if you've got a magnetic connection with your heels, or you kind of feel like a leprechaun. That would be an okay idea too. Are your hips actually stacked? You want to be really anal about this. And then you want to think about lengthening through the side of your body. And then we start our squeezes and openings. Yeah, this is my personal preferred way of doing the clams. I could do at least 100 or 200 of these. The toes, not so much. That's why we're gonna do both. We get different versions for different folks. Yes. Okay, and then while we're doing this, remember breathing. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, squeeze, inhale, open. I want you to spend just a little bit of time with me. Maybe for you, it's not an issue at all, but for many of us, we have some kind of struggles with our body. Like we don't like a part of our body, or we don't think that we're beautiful, or we don't think our bodies are fantastic. But every single one of us is. That's like the amazing news. So you might say out loud, I am perfect exactly as I am right now. I am perfect exactly as I am right now. I am working on getting stronger, and I'm going to continue to work on getting stronger, particularly because I'm aging, and aging is a decline. So we need to stay strong and keep strong. But strength is what we're after. We're not after some weird idea of how we look. You might have worked through that in your 20s, but some people are still working with that, particularly women. You know, there's a lot of weird pressure by advertising to look a certain way or be a certain body type. I'm sure that you are all very sophisticated people and you don't buy into any of that. But now is a good reminder. Once a week is a good reminder. I'm perfect exactly as I am. I'm beautiful, perfect, I'm healthy, I'm vibrant. I think those are helpful things. Okay, now we're going to open and do the one that Jen does not like to do. It's the diamond-shaped clamshells. Already it hurts. So my toes are now magnetically connected, and I'm squeezing and opening. Good, now is the time that we need to tell some jokes or some fun stories. Why can I never remember a joke, a good joke, when I need it? I have a good idea. Next time I hear a good joke, I'm going to write it down, and then I'm going to remember it, and then I'll practice it on you guys. Okay. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. If it's hurting you, as it's hurting me, this might be a good time to focus on your breath. Inhaling, exhaling. But don't give up. I'm not giving up. And it is about the inner thigh, but it's almost deeper than that. I'm feeling it like around the hip, around my hip. Oh, this is a good one. I know it is. Okay. Let's see if we can do 7 more. Lucky 7. And 6. And 5. Don't look at my face. And 4. And 3. And 2. And last 1. Oh, we did it. Okay, now we get the nice circles. Lift up that top leg and just circle it out. Circle. This feels so good after all that work. It is more work. It doesn't feel like work to me. This feels just good. I'm circling about 10 times in one direction. And then I'm going to circle about 10 times in the other direction. Woo. Good work. Circling the body. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Quad stretch. Bend the top leg, hold on to your ankle, your foot, whatever you can. Push lightly hand into foot so that you're pressing this top thigh forward. Maybe the underneath leg stretches out. Find a place where there's some kind of sensation. Breathing into that. Good. It's fun to do sideline work, I just realized, because we get to look at the world sideways for a little way. That's fun. How often do you get to do sideways views of the world? Not very often. So this is a good opportunity to check out your whole surroundings sideways. Gives you a new perspective. Yeah. Okay, so on this next one, we just float onto our back and we get our number 4 stretch. You're gonna lengthen the leg. You just worked up and across, and then pull the legs in, and then however that works for you, that it feels terrific. Good. Always allowed to wiggle a little. Okay, so focusing in on the breath. One more inhale, one more exhale. Good, and then feel free to shake out your legs, kicking your butt, and adding arms if you want to. We're gonna float on over to our quadruped position next. So however you like to arrange your body, up and over, yay. So finding the animalness of your body here in this position of quadruped. Check that your joints are lined up. And let's just start. I'm going to tuck my toes under just because I like to. You're welcome to do that as well. I just want to start with arching the spine, so you look at your knees, and then you feel as if somebody's pulling your big bushy tail, and that starts the rolling movement, and then you lift your sternum. So just exhale and look at your knees, arch your spine like a cat on a fence. And then someone pulls your tail and you lengthen. Good. Into that arch, cat on the fence. And then into that deep curl. Someone's pulled your tail and you might howl. And let's do it one more time. Arching, cat on the fence. It's a good Halloween image for yourself. Pull the tail. Energy goes through the spine and you lift your head and sternum. Those feel so good. Now, coming into a released position for your feet, I want you to think about your right arm and your left leg and see if you can lengthen them in opposition. So my right arm is going to slide forward, my left leg is going to slide forward. I'm going to float them up slowly so that I'm in this beautiful, perfect position. I'm going to pull my belly in, my low belly in as much as I possibly can. And then I'm going to lower the arm and leg 2 inches and lift 2 inches. It's tiny. Down and up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Bring that arm and leg into alignment. Good. I'm feeling a little tiny bit of work on my wrists. That's actually a helpful thing. We're going to stretch our wrists in a minute, but you might notice the same thing. Find the diagonal in your body. Think about left arm and right leg. Slowly lengthen them in opposition. So arm goes forward, leg goes back. And then we float them up so that you're finding that perfect long line. Pull your belly muscles in as tightly as you can. And then small movement up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Good. And all the way in. Good work. Stretch back to prayer position. Arms walk forward, butt reaches back. Breathe into your upper back for me. Nice work. And then as we roll up, we're going to come to a seated position. And in our seated position, we're going to have our ball behind us to finish with a little bit of a split stretch. So inner thigh stretch. Ball can go right behind you. You're going to open both legs up as wide as you possibly can, or as wide as it's giving you some kind of a stretch response. Yes. And then if you want to go wider, I like to make little fists and bring them behind me and then push my legs open a tiny bit more. Okay, I'm definitely needing this stretch today. With my sitting bones anchoring me, so I can feel them pressing down, like the center of my butt cheek pressing down, I'm going to take my whole spine forward. So I'm pretty flat backed, and I just lean. Today I'm really tight. This is like as far as I'm going to go with a flat back. My hands can touch the floor, but that's it. Certainly not going to get my chest or my head down. But I feel the activity in my inner thighs, and that's what I'm after. If my body lets me in, I could walk a little bit further, you know, just at your own pain and pleasure principle. Good. Okay, and then our final little release. We bring the feet in to a comfortable position. Hands come to prayer position. Good. And I want you to close your eyes and just allow whatever happens to happen. We're not trying to send world peace. We're not trying to be someone. We're just allowing everything to be. There we go. So there that should be easy. Good. And if you're allowing everything to be, you might feel really happy. It works for me. Okay, beautiful people, thank you for coming to class today. I'm very happy that you joined us. Very, very happy. See you next time.